Sneakers and Cleats, the podcast.
Let's go around the NFL a little bit. I want to get to a couple of interesting, weird, dumb things that happened yesterday before we get out of here. So
5 and 7 might cook their goose.
Because frankly, I'm sick of talking about the
NFC
Cowboys.
North is going.
So yesterday, the Texans beat the Colts 23-20. Anthony Richardson subbed himself out of a game as the starting quarterback of the Colts. So obviously, the Texans won. Good for them. I thought they should have lost that game. I thought they would have lost that game if any other quarterback not named Anthony Richardson was starting for the Colts because he is, sheesh. But I thought the story coming out of the game was more Anthony Richardson and his inefficiency. This is the Texans beating the Colts in a game that could decide the AFC South winner. You had a 4-3 team against a 5-2 team. If the Colts won, they would have been in first place in this division. The Texans didn't particularly play well, but they won. Anthony Richardson, though, down 20-10 in the third quarter. It's 2nd and goal from the 23-yard line. They had a couple of penalties that backed him up. Richardson runs around. He gets tackled right at the line of scrimmage. It said sacked for 0 yards, but he gets tackled right at the line of scrimmage. He gets up and he goes like this. The universal sign for I need a blow. I need to come out.
Yeah, tap out. Man.
Tap out. Flacco comes in. He runs a play. Richardson comes in on the next drive. This is why we all thought he was hurt. We were all like, oh, what happened to his groin? What happened to his ankle? What happened to something? This is what Richardson said after the game.
Man, tired. I ain't gonna lie. That was a lot of running right there that I did, and I don't think I was gonna be able to go that next play. So I just, this whole saying I just needed a break right there.
What? The starting quarterback of an NFL team is gonna sub himself out on a drive that you can go down and potentially score points? Not just a field goal. You might be able to pull something off. You're this miraculous first-round pick, 4th pick in the draft last year, and you're gonna sub yourself out for Joe Flacco because you're tired? You went 2 of 15 in the first half. The only pass that you completed that was longer than 10 yards was a 69-yard touchdown. I saw on Twitter after the game, there was someone who tweeted out, ooh, I'm Anthony Richardson. I either complete a 7-yard touchdown or crap my pants. Ooh. It's the same. What are you doing?
Well, in his defense, he did run around a lot on that play. I know it's absurd. It's absurd.
To be like the starting center being like, I'm tired. Go ahead.
What's crazy is admitting it. Like you should say,
I tweaked my ankle on that play.
I got hit in the groin or whatever, and I just needed a second. And
I had a labor pain.
I knew they told me in the helmet that it was going to be a handoff anyway, and Flacco can do that.
What's even worse is that it's not like he went down. If he went down injured, then Joe Flacco would have gotten at least time to warm up. Because it was a substitution, Joe doesn't get any warm-up throws. There's nothing that went right on that play, and I can't fathom it.
Okay, but in hindsight, Flacco turned and handed the ball off for a 2-yard gain, and he was back on the next
But if he was warming up, do you think that would have been different? It's a 20-10 game in the third quarter.
No, they were going to run the ball, kick the field goal.
I don't know about that. On
3rd and 23?
They might have thrown another incompletion with Anthony Richardson. He ended the game 20 of 32, throwing one of the most incomprehensible interceptions I've ever seen right before the half, giving the Texans another touchdown, putting them up 17-10. The Colts defense played well.
A frustrated fantasy owner, or did he have the? Did you have the over? Did you have the spread?
No, so I had the Colts on the spread, so I got that. So I won that anyway.
Now the truth comes
I got
out.
that anyway. So the spread was 5. But I'm a frustrated former athlete. If my quarterback went to the sideline, was like, I'm tired, put the backup in for a play, there would have been a revolt. What do you think what did you just tell the team? What did you just tell the organization about you, your effort, and your will to win? You told them, sorry, I'm sleepy. Like, what a nitwit.
I don't know. There's days where I go running that I can't get to that mail.
You're not the starting quarterback of an NFL team.
I can't get to that next mailbox. And I tap out. I'm walking.
He got tackled and was like, Joe's got it.
And he missed a couple of other long throws. They got some receivers that got behind the Texas DBs.
He sucks right now.
Yeah. Hey, they're
4-4.
They're one call away from winning that game on the down by contact on the fumble recovery.
Joe Flacco would have won that game. Me and my friends were all like, put Joe in after that. Like,
maybe
we weren't even. We were hoping he didn't come back. He is horrible, and he just made himself look even worse. Anyway, so that's one bad thing that happened yesterday. The other one that was completely mind-numbing was 2 things that happened in the Bears game. First of all, obviously by now you know Jaden Daniels hits the Hail Mary to Noah Brown, former
Okay,
Cowboy.
before you start ranting, what was your action on this game?
What was my action?
Yeah.
I didn't have anything this game.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I had the Bears. Sorry, I forgot.
So here.
It's hard to keep track when you got action on everything.
So there you go.
I might have had
here-
action.
This is the venting. This is why. Go
No,
ahead.
no,
It's
no,
the
no, no.
underlying
It all comes
cause
out.
of your
No,
rage.
no, no. This
What
is
was
not
the
my frustration.
What was the spread in that game?
It was it will depend. It flipped around when Jaden said he was playing. So
Okay.
when he wasn't playing, it was Bears minus 2.5, which they would have covered. When he came into the game and when it was announced he was starting, it flipped to Commanders minus 1.5, I think, or minus 2.5, something like that. But anyway, I just had the money line. So first, the Bears go up with like 22 seconds left. Jaden Daniels hits a 13-yard out to Scary Terry, who is completely unguarded, who they basically get 13 yards to take it to the 48-yard line. Now they have enough for a Hail Mary.
Mary.
And this is what Matt Eberflus says about that play before the Hail Mary after the game.
13-yard strike, they get out of bounds in 2 seconds. Are you preparing that play for them to run some kind of shots at the end zone laterally, or is that something where how do you look back on that spot?
Yeah, because you're defending touchdown, right? You're defending touchdown there, and them throwing a ball for 13 yards or 10 yards, whatever that is, doesn't really matter. It's always going to come down to that last play. And it came down to a 2-second play to the last play, and we got to execute on that one.
What the hell are you talking about? It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
Yeah. Dan Quinn afterwards said that it was the most important play on the drive.
Tony Romo called it in advance.
Yeah.
They've seen it before. But I don't know that it's the wrong move defensively because you might give up something bigger with 13 seconds to go.
Well, the same thing in the Colts game. You saw why am I forgetting? D'Amico Ryans, he blitzed 4 people off the left edge when Anthony Richardson was trying to heave it to the end zone. So he couldn't roll right and get all of it behind him. There's nothing like that in the Bears game on that play or the play afterwards. They just allowed a 13-yard completion, which allowed Jaden to get enough behind him to where he could almost get it to the end zone. He was still short. He was still a couple yards short of the end zone on that Hail Mary. Luckily, it got tipped behind him in the Commanders won. I keep wanting to call him their former name. But the Commanders won. But to say that play doesn't matter is one of the dumbest things I've heard a coach say in a long time. And I'm not one that's usually prone to hyperbole, but this is just stupid.
Say what? I mean, yes, in the grand scheme of things now.
Hindsight.
Because if Jaden Daniels only has 65 in his arm, although that was a hell of a play, right? Moving around and clearing space and getting your feet, being able to square your shoulders and get your feet set and all that, then the 10-yard, 13-yard out, whatever it was.
But if
I wasn't thinking that at the time. I'm thinking they don't have enough time to do something like that.
Yeah.
Clearly they did. They executed it
They had,
perfectly.
they had plenty of time to do that. And then afterwards, this happens on the Hail Mary where Tyreek Stevenson is taunting the fans for 5 seconds during
That to me is the game right there.
during the play. And this is the same guy who got a personal foul earlier in the game on Terry McLaurin for talking crap to him in his face.
And who tips the ball?
And who tips the ball to Noah Brown. What is going on? Like what?
Did you drop him from your fantasy team?
He's a defender. He doesn't belong on a fantasy team anyway. Okay. But I just can't. The idiocy of what happened in the last 2 plays of that game, I will never understand. And it's not even because I had a bet on the Bears. It's because I just hate stupid football. I hate stupid football. And Matt Eberflus made a dumb decision there, and Tyreek Stevenson made a dumb decision there. Also, why do you have a quarterback spy on a Hail Mary attempt?
I don't know. I know this, Matt. Chuck and I are both twice your age, and we, in the last, 10 years maybe, have witnessed enough stupidity outside of sports that stupidity by a 23-year-old kid playing in the NFL is nothing that's going to get under our skin.
Yes. And I mean, look at how much joy that play brought to the entire operation yesterday, right? We all came out of our chairs. We were all yelling and screaming. I mean, it was a nothing game, and then all of a sudden it wasn't. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it was ASU legend, by the way, Jaden Daniels, just saying. It was a great play, and I'm happy for Jaden, but I just can't believe how dumb the Bears are sometimes.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
They're
Look
just one of
around-
those
I know a couple
organizations.
people in this room that know how.
look
Lions fan, Packer fan.
Look around the world every single day, and you'll see so much more stupidity.
Election weeks next week, we're going to see a lot of stupidity over the next week and a half, I'm sure. Anything else, guys, before we get out of here? I go take a Tylenol or something.
No.
All right. That's all we got for you today on the Sneakers Cleats podcast. Remember to rate, review, subscribe, give us a 5-star rating, tell a friend, tell an enemy. We'll be back on Thursday with more Spurs and Cowboys coverage and maybe something else that makes me want to blow a gasket. We'll see you then.